93.6 Global Radio.
Now, we're not going to be talking politics today.
No.
We're going to be talking about a book. Your exciting new book. There's a lot of buzz about this, isn't there?
Yeah, it's created a lot of interest and a bit of excitement, I think. Yeah.
Well, before we talk about the book, let's talk about you. Let's get a little bit of background, Bill. How long have you lived on the Costa del Sol?
Well, I moved here permanently 2002, so 19 years, coming on for 20 years.
And where did you move from?
I'm from Edinburgh, but I moved around a lot in Scotland. I was living in the west coast of Scotland in a really small village with one pub.
Politics. We're coming off that in a second, but is that your background, or what were you doing before you came here?
My background is in psychological services. I ran businesses and services in Scotland. I was connected into the political system in that I was on a number of advisory committees for the Scottish Parliament. So I did a lot of time around politicians, which was why I decided I would never go into politics.
So what changed your mind?
As many listeners will know, Angel Nothal has been a friend of mine for a lot of years. And around about 2017, I kept on getting phone calls from her. How are you doing, Bill? I'm fine. We need to talk. Yeah, sure, Angel, we'll talk. And after about the third or fourth time, I knew what was coming. And I said, right, okay, Angel, let's meet and we'll talk. And he basically said, look, we're in Mijas. A third of the population in Mijas are foreigners. And I want to have a foreigner on my team that I feel can represent the foreign community or international community in Mijas. I said eventually, well, okay, let's see how it goes. And the rest is history.
You're a councillor in opposition. What does that mean?
It means we're not in government.
So you don't make the rules?
No, we don't make the rules. We don't spend the money. We don't order people to do things. So yeah, it's an interesting kind of position to be in because yeah, I'm a councillor like any other councillor, but the decisions are made by those in government. And unfortunately, although we won the elections with a simple majority, we weren't able to form a government because the rest sort of ganged up and formed a government between them.
So your book, it's called The Diary of a Councillor in Opposition. When did you decide you were going to write the book? Well,
it kind of happened over a period of time because I write a regular column for an English newspaper, and so I was accumulating a lot of things which were really kind of very topical about what was happening in Mijas or generally in this area at that time. I thought that by adding some other new articles into this and giving some explanation about how politics works in Mijas, that it might actually be informative for the international community about, you know, what is politics in a municipality. And obviously I'm looking at it not from a government perspective, but from the perspective of someone who's in opposition, who anytime I want something done has to go cap in hand to someone else and say, how about this or how about that?
So as well as the more serious side of politics, I imagine, Bill, having seen some of the things that you post on Facebook, there's going to be a little humour in the book as well.
Oh, there has to be, yeah. Just interacting with people, it can be quite humorous. I mean, I used to do surgeries around Mijas. It's a very British concept, I think, you know, where the councillor goes to a place and people come to see them and talk about whatever issues or problems they've got. And I had one gentleman, very well educated, professional person, been here 7 years, and the question was, do you think after Brexit it will still be okay to live under the radar? And someone else asked me, this Brexit thing, do you think my partner and I should get married? And I thought, well, that's one of these questions that whatever you say, it could well be wrong.
It could come back to haunt you as well.
Indeed it could. So I think I observed the noble silence of the Buddha on that one.
Well, I'm looking forward to reading the book. Does it have one of those disclaimers like on the American TV shows saying that names and places have been changed to protect the identities of the stupid? Or
it has something like that, yes. And I do say on the back of it that it may offend some of the gentler souls, but it's not really set out to offend.
Without wanting to spoil anything that's in the book, can you maybe just give me a little story, a little taster of something that you really enjoy about it?
The day we were being presented as candidates in Las Lagunas Theatre, it was one of these bad days. Get up in the morning, starting to get ready, and I'm having a shave and took a large lump out of my earlobe. You have no idea how much a lump out of your earlobe bleeds. So I was trying to get dressed without getting blood everywhere. And in the process of doing all that and trying to get this thing to stop, I forgot to put my contact lenses in. Fortunately, because my ear was still bleeding, my wife says, I'll drive us there. And it was halfway there. I thought, I haven't got my contact lenses in. I can see about 9 inches in front of my nose without my contact lenses. And you're going onto a dark stage with a lot of people there, and I thought, this is going to be emotional. I could trip over anything here. Anyway, we got through all of that, got past the last Laguna stage of the presentation, everything. It was great. And we're standing outside afterwards, having a glass of beer, and I could feel a draft where there shouldn't be a draft, and realised I'd done the whole thing with my fly open.
Oh, is there photographic or video evidence that's haunted you for this?
No, not to my knowledge, but that may well pop up somewhere, you know.
If there is, they'll be finding it now. The Diary of a Councillor in Opposition. Where can we pick up a copy of this?
Well, I am doing launches around, small launches in different parts of Mijas. One or two people have asked me if I can go to one or two other areas, but it is available on Amazon.
So Amazon's the place to go for Bill Anderson, Diary of a Councillor in Opposition, which sounds like a hoot, but it does sound really good.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and chatting with me about the book. I know it's already going very well for you. I wish you continued success with it, and hopefully in the near future, it'll be the Diary of a Councillor in power.
Well, that has been suggested. Let's see what happens.
93.6 Global Radio.